Chapter 2 of Anna Karenina, Book 5, by Leo Tolstoy. Translated by Constance Garnett. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. On the day of the wedding, according to the Russian custom, the princess and Darya Alexandrovna insisted on strictly keeping all the customs. Levin did not see his betrothed, and dined at his hotel with 3 bachelor friends, casually brought together at his rooms. These were Sergey Ivanovitch, Katavasov, a university friend, now professor of natural science, whom Levin had met in the street and insisted on taking home with him, and Tchirikov, his best man, a Moscow conciliation board judge, Levin's companion in his bear hunts. The dinner was a very merry one. Sergey Ivanovitch was in his happiest mood, and was much amused by Katavasov's originality. Katavasov, feeling his originality was appreciated and understood, made the most of it. Tchirikov always gave a lively and good-humored support to conversation of any sort. "See now," said Katavasov, drawling his words from a habit acquired in the lecture-room. "What a capable fellow was our friend Konstantin Dmitrievitch. I'm not speaking of present company, for he's absent. At the time he left the university he was fond of science, took an interest in humanity. Now one half of his abilities is devoted to deceiving himself, and the other to justifying the deceit. A more determined enemy of matrimony than you I never saw," said Sergey Ivanovitch. "Oh no, I'm not an enemy of matrimony. I'm in favor of division of labor. People who can do nothing else ought to rear people, while the rest work for their happiness and enlightenment. That's how I look at it. To muddle up 2 trades is the error of the amateur. I'm not one of their number." "How happy I shall be when I hear that you're in love," said Levin. "Please invite me to the wedding." "I'm in love now." "Yes, with a cuttlefish. You know," Levin turned to his brother, "Mihail Semyonovitch is writing a work on the digestive organs of the—" "Now, make a muddle of it. It doesn't matter what about, and the fact is I certainly do love cuttlefish." "But that's no hindrance to your loving your wife." "The cuttlefish is no hindrance. The wife is the hindrance." "Why so?" "Oh, you'll see. You care about farming, hunting. Well, you'd better look out." "Arhip was here today. He said there were a lot of elks in Prudno, and 2 bears," said Tchirikov. "Well, you must go and get them without me." "Ah, that's the truth," said Sergey Ivanovitch. "And you may say good‐bye to bear hunting for the future. Your wife won't allow it." Levin smiled. The picture of his wife not letting him go was so pleasant that he was ready to renounce the delights of looking upon bears forever. "Still, it's a pity they should get those 2 bears without you. Do you remember last time at Hapilovo? That was a delightful hunt," said Tchirikov. Levin had not the heart to disillusion him of the notion that there could be something delightful apart from her, and so said nothing. "There's some sense in this custom of saying good‐bye to bachelor life," said Sergey Ivanovitch. "However happy you may be, you must regret your freedom." "And confess there's a feeling that you want to jump out of the window, like Gogol's bridegroom?" "Of course there is, but it isn't confessed," said Katavasov, and he broke into loud laughter. "Oh well, the window's open. Let's start off this instant to Tver. There's a big she-bear. One can go right up to the lair. Seriously, let's go by the 5 o'clock. And here let them do what they like," said Tchirikov, smiling. "Well now, on my honor," said Levin, smiling, "I can't find in my heart that feeling of regret for my freedom." "Yes, there's such a chaos in your heart just now that you can't find anything there," said Katavasov. "Wait a bit. When you set it to rights a little, you'll find it." "No, if so, I should have felt a little, apart from my feeling." He could not say love before them. "And happiness, a certain regret at losing my freedom." "On the contrary, I am glad at the very loss of my freedom." "Awful! It's a hopeless case," said Katavasov. "Well, let's drink to his recovery, or wish that 100th part of his dreams may be realized, and that would be happiness such as never has been seen on earth." Soon after dinner the guests went away, to be in time to be dressed for the wedding. When he was left alone, and recalled the conversation of these bachelor friends, Levin asked himself, had he in his heart that regret for his freedom of which they had spoken? He smiled at the question. Freedom. What is freedom for? Happiness is only in loving and wishing her wishes, thinking her thoughts. That is to say, not freedom at all. That's happiness. But do I know her ideas, her wishes, her feelings? Some voice suddenly whispered to him. The smile died away from his face and he grew thoughtful. And suddenly a strange feeling came upon him. There came over him a dread and doubt of everything. What if she does not love me? What if she's marrying me simply to be married? What if she doesn't see herself what she's doing? He asked himself. She may come to her senses, and only when she is being married realize that she does not and cannot love me. And strange, most evil thoughts of her began to come to him. He was jealous of Vronsky, as he had been a year ago, as though the evening he had seen her with Vronsky had been yesterday. He suspected she had not told him everything. He jumped up quickly. "No, this can't go on," he said to himself in despair. "I'll go to her. I'll ask her. I'll say for the last time, we are free, and hadn't we better stay so? Anything's better than endless misery, disgrace, unfaithfulness." With despair in his heart and bitter anger against all men, against himself, against her, he went out of the hotel and drove to her house. He found her in one of the back rooms. She was sitting on a chest and making some arrangements with her maid, sorting over heaps of dresses of different colors, spread on the backs of chairs and on the floor. "Ah!" she cried, seeing him and beaming with delight. "Kostya! Konstantin Dmitrievitch!" These latter days she used these names almost alternately. "I didn't expect you. I'm going through my wardrobe to see what's for whom." "Oh, that's very nice," he said gloomily, looking at the maid. "You can go, Dunyasha. I'll call you presently," said Kitty. "Kostya, what's the matter?" she asked, definitely adopting this familiar name as soon as the maid had gone out. She noticed his strange face, agitated and gloomy, and a panic came over her. "Kitty, I'm in torture. I can't suffer alone," he said with despair in his voice, standing before her and looking imploringly into her eyes. He saw already from her loving, truthful face that nothing could come of what he had meant to say. But yet he wanted